Yeah, it does make me shake my head. Everyone's like, "Oh, look, these fucking losers on the guy. Nice podcast. How many listeners you have? La la la, you suck." Thanks, internet
I wish I was
person.
recording that. That would make a great intro to the show. I don't know if you guys heard this week's intro.
Hey guys, I have a suggestion for a topic for you. Suck my balls. Why don't you put that in your random topic generator? Lols, lols, lols.
So incidentally, this game, the player unknown whatever battlegrounds, there's a if you hold a button, you can talk and you'll be heard within a certain range of your character, which is normally like if you're in a house or someone's outside, you guys could have a conversation about what's going to happen or whatever. But at the beginning, when you're all getting set up, all the players are in one area, and it is the absolute worst of humanity. Like just like and I googled tips because I was trying to learn tips about the game, and I was on this PC Gamer article, and they're like, tip number 1 in the training area at the beginning, hit Alt T to mute all chat. You will want to do this because you will notice immediately that everybody is racist and the worst of humanity. And it's true. And I'd be like literally take off my headphones and be like, I can't wait to kill these people.
You're about to make me want to rant about video games again, Crofton.
It's this particular one attracts the worst of humanity.
There's some niches in there that are full of bad people in gaming.
I don't know why a game where you're about being dropped on an island where you all have to kill each other and be last one standing would attract the worst of humanity.
What I find funny is because again, the only game I play now, which I quite enjoy, is Hearthstone, and even that, I'd say like fully 50% of the game, you can tell you're kind of playing a dickhead or a video game dickhead, just because. You can tell because of when taunts come, and it's like the people are so stupid in the sense that they'll wait till they know they're gonna win, like it's clear, and then they'll be like, hello well played or something, and it's like, but people do that when victory's clear, which means they're stupid and assholes, because it's a fucking game of chances to a larger degree. It's like, okay, you won, great, and now you're like, oh, I beat you, you suck, and it's like that happens all the time in a game that is limited the ability to do that, and still people insist on doing it. It's like, I never taunt anyone because I realize, like, sometimes I win games really easily and that person looks like I beat them, and other times I don't because it's a game of chance. It's like, why would you be like, hello, thank you, whatever. I'm just laughing because Crofton for sure is one of those a-holes who constantly do that.
So, you're looking at the face of the dickhead.
Yes, I know Crofton. I play board games with him. He's the typical troll dickhead gamer.
So there's this I'm playing Mario Kart on the Wii U there online, and Nintendo has avoided going online because they didn't know how they were going to control the dickheads. So they did something similar to Blizzard where they give you, like, after a race in Mario Kart, you have a couple of comments. There's like 3 pages of like one-line answers that you can give. I went through them like 3 times yesterday looking for the closest thing to a taunt. I was going back and forth. It's like, they're all like, nice race, let's do it again. I'm like, nope. Next one, it's like congratulations on your victory. I'm like, nope. just like they're all like that. Whereas in Hearthstone, at least I think there's one taunt one that's like 0 chance against me type taunt.
Yeah, in Heroes they added sprays, so now you can spray on the ground. There's a couple of trolley ones there. It's pretty good.
Just to be clear, sprays are graffiti sprays, and they're not skunk sprays or urine.
As spray graffiti on the ground to taunt people in Mario Kart?
No, in his game. Mario Kart, you can't taunt people. The only way is the traditional way of using a blue shell.
Blue shell.
Fucking blue shells.
All right, so you guys ready to rock out? Rock one out.
Yes.
Mike, you got an intro? You prepared?
I never have an intro. Oh, there's no intro when I intro.
Okay. So you guys hear that?
Oof. I wish I hadn't, but yeah.
Here's a laser from heaven. All right. All right. Then let's get going. You ready to go, Mike? I'm ready to go. I think you're all primed up. I feel like the engine's piping hot. If I was to touch your mind right now, it would burn the flesh from my fingertips. Okay. Is that your I'm ready sound? Asking you if you're ready.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, I like it. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome to the Good, Bad, or Bullshit podcast, where we discuss random topics, have an unrehearsed conversation about that topic, and then provide a quality review. I'm one of your 3 hosts on this show. My name's Mike Hodgins, and I'm here with the one and only Crofty Steers.
Well, we gotta start over. Sorry.
Oh,
I fucked up.
You were doing so well too.
yeah, as my shitty intros go, that was like not as bad as usual. It's still pretty shitty.
But I was like, gonna hit buttons though.
I didn't hit buttons. I just didn't mute the channels in the file I have where the music is.
And for the record, I like Crofton's like intros where he finds something to do, and now Bo is like stolen it sort of half the time. I do enjoy those, but I can't do them because it's not my idea.
Oh, where you find 3 analogies and diss the last person?
No, where it's just like whatever Crofton's like.
You're totally welcome to steal it and make it something that's like, you could have us be like Marxist philosophers or some shit or whatever that would be.
I'm Mikhail Pistrovovich.
No,
the
because
communist
you'll be at the
group.
bottom of the well one day, and I'll be able to suggest those to you. So I'll just stick with my normal. I do enjoy yours, though.
All right. We'll start again. Sorry about that, Mike. It won't happen again. All right. Good, Bad, or Bullshit. Episode 193 starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, and welcome to the Good, Bad, or Bullshit podcast, where we discuss random topics. We have an unrehearsed conversation about that topic, and then we provide a quality review. I'm one of your 3 hosts on this show. My name's Mike Hodgins, and I'm joined, as I am every week, by my 2 co-hosts. Firstly, Crofton Steers. Hello, Crofton.
Hey, Mike.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. We're actually recording like this, if you're listening on iTunes or whatever, it doesn't matter what friggin' time we're recording, but we're recording fairly late for us. So let's see if I
like
can
the middle
hold
of the night for me, but it's like the morning for the other co-host, Bo Schwartz. Good morning, Bo.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today? It's a beautiful night. You guys want to go out for breakfast?
He's going to be up for the next 26 hours. So
It's
he's just
funny.
started.
About an hour before we started recording, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm so tired. And then, boom, second wind kicks in. Night owl mode activated. It's 10:47.
Well, it didn't hurt that Crofton and I were arguing, and then you got drawn into it.
Yeah,
bickering.
It was good. It's the same argument we've been having for 193 episodes before the show.
But it's always interesting. Speaking of interesting, gents, I have a story to share.
Let's hear it.
So I went yesterday to a traditional Muslim feast called an iftar, and I am not Muslim, but one of the students at our work is, and he invited us all to go to it. It was actually, ironically, right next to our work at the Congress Center or whatever. But I guess Ramadan is going on right now, which is ridiculous in the sense that you do not eat or drink when the sun is up. So like after sunrise, and you can't eat or drink until sunset. And so like for me, who is a lover of food and or drink, that sounds excruciating. And so, but then when the sun goes down, they have every once in a while these iftars, which are like just a giant, massive communal feast. So I like feasting as much as the next person. So I was cool to join in on this. And I know very little about Muslim
Islam.
Practices and Islam in general. So I thought it was interesting. And
Is it not? Because I thought it was Eid was the big feast at the end of Ramadan.
Yeah, that's the big. But
So
they
iftars
also,
like throughout they have.
yeah, you can have iftars throughout Ramadan. Yeah, but there's normally like every once in a while there'll be like in neighborhood a big iftar where you bring in as much of the community as you can. But yes, you're right. Eid is the big one at the end. And so it was funny in the sense that like they put all these big delicious dishes on your table, and the sun hasn't set yet, and there's speakers in the meantime, like. And I felt kind of awkward about going, to be honest, because I was like, am I like intruding, and
Did you
this thing? But it was
fast?
like, pardon?
Did you fast that day at the very least?
No, oh no, hell no. Well, I had fasted for
What a
maybe 3
dick.
hours, I guess. But no, I didn't go
Yeah,
to the.
3 hours. You're like, God, why did they put this food out? I need it so bad.
Oh man, I was like, it smelled so good, and I was hungry, and I was just like, oh my God, it's so brutal. I haven't eaten for hours. But the thing was, it was the most inclusive, organized religion thing I have ever been part of. Whenever I go to church, I always felt like I'm a horrible person for never going to church. But here, it was like they gave these giant speeches about like there's a lot of people here that are Christian. There's a lot of people here who have no religion or whatever. We're really all glad that you're here. We all have like values of family and hard work, and we're all gonna meet and be merry and all that sort of stuff. And then a bunch left to do the prayer, and I felt really awkward for that because like Omar, who is our student, said to us, he's like, yeah, you guys can eat if you want, we're just going to do the prayer, you can start. And then we were all sitting there and we're like, well, we probably shouldn't eat, like it's just the polite thing to do is to not. So when of course we didn't, and they all came back, and everybody was like super hungry. And of course,
Did anybody say that? Was there a bunch of white people there, like, wanting to be like, we're starving, but we're too polite to say anything because literally the people who invited them haven't eaten the whole day and haven't been eating the whole livelong day for weeks
I was the only one. I kept making jokes about how hungry I was. Man, I'm pretty hungry. Hey, guys? Jeez, we're hungry collectively. Whatever.
Kind of, yeah.
But no, the joke, but I told them multiple times, and I was talking to this older gentleman, I'm like, I respect like the power of will that it must take to do that. No matter what I think about, religion or whatever, if you told me like you cannot, eat or drink, like hydrate yourself for that long a period, I'd be like, oh.
I find it kind of like, so, okay, I never went to an iftar, but I had a colleague who is Muslim, and she was doing Ramadan, and one time I was like, you know what? Oba was her name. Oba's a pretty fun lady that I worked with. I was like, I'm going to do Ramadan with you for like 2 days. And she was like, you don't have to, Mike. It's hard. And I was like, I'll try. So I did do it for 2 days. And I was like, Oba, I'm not going to make it another day. She's like, it's okay. And she's like, good for you. You did 2 days. And I was like,
I give you
really
full
hard.
credit for 2 days. Like,
It
I
was
give you full credit.
It was difficult. So I like how I tried the fasting for a couple days, and you tried going to an iftar once and just eating all the food without doing that.
Yeah.
It was neat, and again, full respect, and again, like my view of religion is one of like, I'm not into religion, but a lot of these things are beyond religion. They're cultural, they're traditional, they're community, and those things are neat. Like, I mean, I have a lot of traditions that I'm into are just things that were like, they might have Christian backgrounds. I'm like, I don't care about Christianity at all, but they're still interesting and they're cultural and they're value.
He enjoys
in the world.
flogging. He doesn't need to be a Catholic to enjoy the flogging.
I want
to ask Bo though, because he dated a Muslim.
I fasted for Ramadan 2 or 3 times, at least 2. I think
the whole deal,
the whole like 6 weeks or whatever. In the summer. Yes, when I was with Salma. I guess we didn't know each other as well back then.
You did the whole thing?
I did the whole thing, dude.
I did know that. That's why I asked him, because I was like,
you know what?
proud of going to feast. I'm proud of 2 days, but Bo did the whole thing.
And it's the whole power of being young and in love and trying to, yes, I'm gonna respect and observe it, and I'm gonna try and find meaning in it. Looking back on it, it's the dumbest fucking idea that any religion has ever come on. I don't get, if you're Muslim, I'm sorry. I think it's stupid. I actually just dislike it. And
okay, send your hate mail to
I feel like I speak from a position of authority, having at least tried it twice and a third time bailing on it, because I'm like, it's like, it's a food version of flogging. I think flogging's dumb too, or whatever, like physical punishment. Why would I punish my belly?
No, I'm not surprised to hear that, because lately more and more Bo is more and more becoming a hedonist as he gets older, where he's just like, pleasure good, anything not pleasure bad. and that's fine. And
eating is
and
more than just pleasure. It helps you feel better
okay,
in the
let
day
me
in
just
terms of like your energy level. Like there's a reason we like eating. There's nothing.
yes, okay,
There is no
but all I
wisdom
wanted to
from
say
starvation.
was that,
Eating's a
like,
vice, Bo.
all I wanted to say is that I'm someone I like the sort of stoic view of the world where you can appreciate something when you deprive yourself of it. And I feel like doing something like fasting, like when you eat that food, now Crofton, after you fasted for 3 hours, didn't that food taste great at the iftar? It probably tasted really good.
One thing I will say though is
Appreciate
that they
That's
weren't
true.
able to eat as much as I was because their stomach shrank quite a bit.
Yeah, you're in practice. You're like training.
So I was like, oh man, we really need to pack it on because of the whole fasting thing. They're like, you're not fasting. I'm like, I know, but I'm in spirit with
But,
you,
the issue with the fasting is like it's like isn't it 6 weeks? It's like 4 to 6 weeks if I remember correctly, and you don't need to go that long to appreciate eating. Like a day is good, and doing it once a lifetime, even if it's like let's say 4 weeks. Let's say you do the full Eid, once is enough to remember how much it's like. I think about Ramadan from time to time, and I'm like, I'm sure glad I don't do that shit anymore.
There are a lot of similar type
I
things.
appreciate my food.
I have some friends who like to do these like 10-day silent retreats, which I think are like kind of culty and weird, but I appreciate that it's difficult to go 10 days without speaking to anyone. Like Crofton and I would have a hard time going about 10 minutes, and Bo as well. He's probably also in that camp. If there's someone around, they're going to probably talk to them. But 10 days, and I'm just like equally like, it's dumb, but I can understand being like, it's an accomplishment. It's something that's difficult to do, and that they do it. I get it. It's not necessarily for me, but I get it.
Yeah.
You know what's difficult to do? Running the random topic generator in time before we run out of time on this episode.
I thought you were going to give the Simpsons quote where Homer says to Bart, Bart, if something's hard to do, then it's not worth doing. Like sentimental way. That's a view too.
All right.
All right, let's get
going. Let's get going. It was a good talk, though. I enjoyed that.
Okay, the topic today is product licensing. I think this is like when you take right now my kid is into this show which I despise called Paw Patrol. It's a show for toddlers, Paw Patrol, and it's you can Google, it's everywhere. But you will see licensing of this product all over the place. For example, on like pillowcases and sheets and clothes and cups and whatever that a kid might say, "Mommy, I want that because it's got Paw Patrol on it." It's a licensed products use that license. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah,
here?
I think we blame Star Wars for this, right? Star Wars is
Yes,
like
I think it's
almost
early
like
on
patient zero. I mean, there might have been stuff before it, but they're patient zero for product licensing, I think.
Well, I think that's more what it is, but it wasn't actually my first thought, which was about music licensing and music as a product, which is there's recently a video game that was a big main video game that had a lot of licensed music in it, and it's just being taken off the stores because the licensing agreements have expired with the music. So they had paid, there was like, I don't know, Black Sabbath, and they had an agreement with Black Sabbath for the use of music in this game, but it only ran a finite amount of time. So if music as a product, I often think of in the licensing, there's licensing agreements for a lot of things, but I think it's more what you guys were saying and less that.
I think yours counts too. I think there's a secondary product and an initial product is used most
let me
often
give you
an artifact of art.
I'll give you another example that I just found here. That's something that belongs to my kid, and I'm holding up a little audio listeners. What I'm showing a little toy car that my kid has. It's like a Formula One looking toy car.
Looks like a Hot Wheels.
That has, yes, it's like a Hot Wheels
Spider-Man.
Formula One car with Spider-Man crap on it. Now, I'm not as deep in the lore of Spider-Man as one Crofton Steers, but I don't remember Spider-Man driving around in a Formula One race car ever. But
No,
clearly
he
there's-
actually didn't. He had the Spider-Mobile, which was more like a Jeep thing.
Okay, yeah, shut it down.
Okay.
So the point being is that clearly someone has some company that makes toys has a licensing agreement to like put the Spider-Man on the race car. Like we got race cars, just put the Spider-Man shit on it. We got the license agreement. Has nothing to do with the product they've licensed, but they have the license, so they're gonna damn well use it. It's just like it's silly,
So
right? It's not reflective of the original thing whatsoever. It's just like it's a Formula One car. It has Spider-Man on it. What does that have to do with Spider-Man? Nothing.
You know what I used to hate was like when I was a kid, like around 1989 when the Tim Burton Batman movie came out, there was a glut of Batman action figures, and there would always be toy ads during commercials on my shows, right? And it was always for the latest Batman, and I just wanted like kids, they just wanted. It's the same with the Ninja Turtles, the vanilla ones, like the basic ones, but they'd sell those and then they'd stop selling them, and then it would be like bath time aqua shot Batman, you know, like, and it's like Batman, and he's got like these water squeeze things, and he has like, you know, Sub-Zero ice anti-ice freeze Batman lava surf, you know, like it's just they'd be like ridiculous gizmos. And it was the same with the Ninja Turtles. One Christmas, me and my brothers, we wanted Ninja Turtles for Christmas. I got like football Leonardo, and Dev got like hockey Raphael or something like that, and it's like we don't want those. We want the regular ones, you know. But like it's licensing run amok. Like you just have tons and tons of shit that you can pump out. But I do think like, look, I'm wearing like this Ghostbusters T-shirt right now. So like technically this T-shirt was had the licenses to use the Ghostbusters logo. Now, I get the concept of you have something, you've created something, you're a movie, you know, you put out this movie. Yes, you make money on the movie, but like if people start selling stuff based on the thing that you've created, then you should probably be entitled to some of those assets, and then I guess that's where licensing comes in.
Well, it's intellectual property, right? So you had an idea or a set of ideas, you own them. Like we do a good Bad or Bullshit podcast. We don't want to necessarily get into the action figure manufacturing business. So we may license our likeness and our show intellectual property to Hasbro so they can make, you know, Michael action figures with like a podcast headphones and all the podcasts he recommends on the show, and you know, and he's got a set of skis. We got ski slope Michael, and
I'm gonna wait for Socrates skiing version of Michael.
Socrates skiing.
He's got like,
and then we've got Crofton
with his action curmudgeon scowl.
and then we've got indignant Crofton who has like broken things, and
with like accessory pizza and Pepsi can.
A pizza baseball bat. He's wrapped up his pizza into a bat, and he's gonna hit you with it.
We have hive mind bow where he's encased in like a glutinous
My brain
gel.
is like this big. Yeah, I like it.
But if somebody put out those without our permission and we're making a bunch of money off them, I would be pissed about that.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess that's why the licensing exists, because probably people that sell crap they want to sell more crap, and it is a way to make people buy things. And it's just like, what's so silly is stuff like, I see how effective it is now that I have a toddler who wants stuff. You know, I talked about the Paw Patrol. He's into that right now. He was also into Dory. You ever see this Finding Dory? It's like a Finding sequel. So he saw a bit of this with his aunt or something like that, and he was really into Dory. And then we went to the grocery store, and there was like these little yogurt drinks with a picture of Dory on them. And he was like, Dory! And then so we had to get those ones. And I'm just like, I mean, whatever. I don't mind giving him a yogurt drink, but like it's so now they have got into his brain, and I hate that because it's manipulative, especially for children who don't understand the kind of difference between that they're being advertised to. They don't know it. So this stuff is, in that sense, I see it as like really bad. Like you get something these kids like, and you make them buy products, and they can't help it as much.
Would you be as mad about it if they actually license it responsibly? Like if you get broccolis that are shaped like Finding Dory characters, and that would help.
I mean, that's rarely the case. It's mostly the junk, but
isn't that more like merchandising? Like licensing?
It's the same thing. I think that's
is it? Because
it's merchandising.
Yeah. Like
that's like Star Wars or something. They don't manufacture toys, right? They'll sell that license to like both like Hasbro or some toy manufacturer, and they'll get a big. It's a reciprocal arrangement. Right. So they might be like, yeah, and for sure some of these shows. This is, I guess, the other angle of some shows. Again, like this Paw Patrol show for the kids, it's for sure meant. It's produced with product licensing in mind, no question.
Really, I never thought that before while watching that show.
Yeah. And there's lots of shows like it, and that annoys me too. I mean, the show sucks on its own merits, but it's doubly bad because of the fact that it's clearly trying to introduce new products to sell, new little cars for these things to drive, and I'm just like, ugh.
Going back to our youth, it was worse, because the toy companies were making shows. It was the opposite. It was like Transformers and G.I. Joe and all that sort of stuff. My Little Pony, they had TV shows, He-Man, but it was the toy companies making those TV shows.
Yeah, but then they license their stuff to McDonald's, so you try and get your parents to buy you McDonald's so you get a Happy Meal.
It's so annoying.
Like, crappy Transformer was in the Happy Meal, and I wanted so bad.
But see, I would say that I have like some conflicting emotions about this, because I like some licensing things, but not others, and I would want the things that I like, to continue existing. But I definitely agree that it's like when I see that Spider-Man friggin' racer, and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, I'm just like, that is bullshit. But even as a kid, I would have known that's bullshit. Because that is just too much bullshit. But the thing is like. Like Spider-Man, for instance, is a comic book character, and then so the movies are in themselves like a licensing thing that has come out of that, and then video games, which I really enjoy Spider-Man video games. Like if that license was not shared there, and when I was a kid. Action figures, like, and I still have a bunch of Spider-Man action figures, and I play with them and like pretend to be Spider-Man. And maybe there is an issue that every Christmas I would be like, well, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I want a friggin' Spider-Man figurine, and my mom had to drive everywhere to try and find one. But like these are things that still, as an adult today, that I like. But then I see like that racing car, and I see like a bunch of, like, you go down any aisle of the grocery store or whatever, and it's like it's licensing. And it's not just like stuff like kid stuff, like professional athletes. Like you buy a Wheaties box and it's got like Michael Jordan or whatever. There's all of that, all of those agreements, and Jordan plays basketball, so therefore shoes. Basketball shoes, Air Jordans, are still super well sold merchandising and licensing of likeness based on celebrity. You see a lot of that. One of the top selling video games in the world in terms of a gross is a Kim Kardashian game on your phone. God,
I could have lived my whole life and not known that, and I would have been happier.
And she just sold her license, and it's a cheap game, cheap development studio or whatever put it out, but because of the power of her brand and name and the licensing, it's just a bonkers money.
What is that? What would that game be? I'm angry that it exists now.
Oh jeez, I'm
gonna have to say like product licensing sucks just because of that fact.
I have no idea.
I mean, it's
called Kim Kardashian Hollywood.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a mobile game I have been playing, and it's a really bad game. It's actually a bad game, and I'm only playing it because of the product license, because it's on my mobile phone and I can like tap it a bit on the bus.
What's the product?
It's Trailer Park Boys Greasy Money. It's a really bad game, and like I know it's a bad game. Bad. I kind of hate the game, but I still kind of play it because they do little Trailer Park Boys bits in there, and I'm like, yeah. They got me. Greasy money. It's greasy.
It's tough because it's like this whole thing. It clearly has like Like I can understand, a lot of this basic stuff of like, something you like Star Wars, and you really like it. You can't always watch the movie. Say only the movies exist. You want to watch movies, but it's nice to have like, I don't know if you like it to have a little Darth Vader mask on your desk or something like that. If you like that, I mean, yeah, I can understand that. But it's like if it's like something like Darth Vader bubble bath that you see in the like in the in the pharmacy, I think that's ridiculous. And I guess the problem I see with this is this licensing is half garbage, that they're just taking a random license and applying it to any product. Doesn't matter what the product is, just put it on because it might sell it. And then other ones which are sort of more legitimate, even toys, even when content is based around eventually making a product for it, like toys and children, I feel like at least those things kind of go hand in hand a little bit. And I'm like, okay, fine, that's a shoot off of that content. I can get behind that kind of stuff and say, okay, kids like toys, kids like content, let those things go together. There's a place for that. It's again the like, you go into your store, into any store, and there's random products that might have a Star Wars thing on it. It just seems, or like fast food is big on it. They'll be like, I mean, Star Wars is in my head now because it's product licensed everywhere. You go to like, I don't know if it was McDonald's or whatever, and all the cups are like Star Wars on it. I'm like, what does it have to do with drinking a Coke and eating shitty fries? Like nothing. You just want to cash in on Star Wars. That irritates me. So this is really divisive for me.
I really want to buy one of those curmudgeon Mike action figures. Just for the record, Hodgins, and in talking of things you didn't need to know, I Googled this Kim Kardashian Hollywood. It has been played worldwide for more than 5.7 billion minutes.
I mean, I've said it before. The human race is doomed, and this is just one more example of why.
But listen to how awesome it sounds, though. Listen to how awesome it is. Players can gain more fans by booking modeling jobs, acting jobs, and club appearances, and going on dates. Actions taken during jobs and dates cost energy, which refills over time, but gain the player money and experience. High ratings on jobs and dates earns you more fans and increase your celebrity ranking. Although the game is free to play, although it's free to play, in-game money and K-stars, which can be used to buy clothing, accessories, and refill your energy, can be purchased for a fee. Although you can watch a short video or ad to receive free K coins.
Okay, I'll just stop you right there. Here's the thing, though.
My brain is bleeding.
Going back to the point, like a licensing agreement will make something that is successful, or something that would be unsuccessful in a saturated marketplace successful. If I put out an action figure and I called it Army Man, and that's probably trademarked already. I'm like a combat dude or something, and I put him in the store. Like maybe some kids would be interested in him, but if he was in a TV show that they watch, then for sure the interest would go through the roof, right? So like I do get the symbiotic nature of all this stuff, and I honestly find myself a lot in Mike's camp, which is understanding that we're being played on many levels, but also like there are parts of that game that you want to continue because you appreciate that element of it, the one that you enjoy, or that the entertainment property that you're able to get more out of because of the fact that it's licensed. And I just got a couple of T-shirts, ironically a Spider-Man T-shirt, and like an Overwatch T-shirt, and just delivered today. They're in the washer. That reminds me, I got to put them in the dryer. But I'm glad, like I'm buying them based on their licenses. I didn't go and buy like blue and black T-shirt. Really what is drawing me to them is like the licensing agreements, and part of me hates that, but part of me also is like what would I replace that with? Like there's different types of fashion, but these are the things that I like and I can wear them. And yes, it's free advertising I'm giving these products that I appreciate. But like I guess I'm aware of what's going on, and don't have a problem with it and kind of enjoy it. So like, I mean, that's conflicting, but then I see a lot of junk that, like Mike said, just drives me nuts. So that's where I'm kind of. How about you, Bo?
Mm, mm,
You have a lot. Like you seem
mm.
like you're big into licensing stuff.
I
Like you are a
think so.
Transformers
I mean,
nerd. You
I
have a
just
bunch of like.
I just got a. Where is it? I don't even know. Where? Put it somewhere. I think it's in the back. I got a loot box from Blizzard Entertainment full of licensed merchandise because, I do a show that has some listeners, and they send a little gift to people in the Heroes community. And so I've got T-shirts, and I've got a glass, and I've got a sweater, and I've got pins, and I love all of it. So I think I'm like pro. I think I'm heavily biased in even having this conversation. Mind you, I don't have the same experience that you both have, and Mike's chosen to approach this from the point of view of raising a child, which is a different thing than if you're an adult and you kind of see things a little clearer. I don't want to assume all adults are able to do that, but I think when you look at it from someone else's perspective, like you look at your little child and you see them being influenced by things, you can kind of feel like there's something evil going on there, something manipulative.
I will say that one thing as an adult, even like, and this is looking at a lot of the stuff that I liked as a child becoming now mainstream. Everything, superhero, science fiction, fantasy, stuff that was less common for me as a kid is now becoming mainstream. And as a kid, often these things existed solely in and of themselves. So they were I don't want to say a pure thing, but like they were a movie. Like the Princess Bride wasn't released with I guarantee there's tons of Princess Bride merch that now exists, but it wasn't conceived in and of itself to sell merch or to be licensed out. It was conceived as a film, right? And now it's very much clear, as much as it's a lot of my childhood stuff that I appreciate. Everything that the big Hollywood blockbusters in the film world are all based around, like they're not designed purely as films. They're designed as they've always been an element of product, but they're now even more product because they're looking to expand in all these avenues. If your character in a film is wearing a costume, hey, that's great because maybe you can sell that costume to somebody afterwards, have it in costume stores or whatever. Hey, if you're doing a film and the character drives a bunch of fancy cars all the time, hey, maybe you can have a dealer, an agreement with these sort of car dealerships, and they become just like they bring together all these different products and licensing agreements, and that's like that's annoying for me at this point. I sometimes want to go see these movies or play a video game even, or do whatever, and it just be the thing that it was designed to do and nothing else. And that is becoming increasingly rare, if that makes sense.
I mean, I tend to agree when I think of like my childhood as well. I think with those things were pretty segmented. Like I don't think I even have like Star Wars was, as Bo pointed out, like one of the very early ones. And I never had a Star Wars toy like Star Wars. And the toys I was really into were the things like G.I. Joe, which existed primarily as a toy, and that's how I use them. Now there are really shitty movies based on that. Comic books kind of came out of those as well. Like so,
there was an animated series when we were kids.
Yes, those things all happen.
The film industry is literally the product licensing of comic books.
Yes, at this point it is, and it's like you know what? Like I think I'm pretty much ready for a verdict, and I started off. Well, I'll just save it till my verdict. I don't know if you guys got more to say. I don't have much more to say except that I'm.
I think we should head into verdicts. However, I haven't it's really weird. I feel really negatively towards it, and yet I have nothing.
You like all the shit.
I'm steeped in it. Like I don't. The idea that they're.
If only there was some sort of top verdict that you could use that would somehow reflect all of that confusion. If only we had one.
I also feel like Bo is struggling with self-knowledge right now. It's like he's like I like I like this product. I like watching this movie.
I'll tell
Why
you
do
what
I
I
own all
hate.
this stuff? Why do I feel negatively about it? It's like he can feel the tendrils of them pulling the money out of his brain.
Yes, I've got it. I've nailed the center of the conflict. I think swag and all that kind of stuff is really cool. Generally, my reaction to stuff that is based on other stuff, always very awesome. But I tell you, in the opposite side, and this is kind of linking to our furniture conversation on our IKEA episode last week, is I fucking hate junk. And I hate having stuff. Stuff is like the bane of my existence. The less stuff I can own physically, the better I can be. See that books behind me? I want to get rid of those. Like, haven't read them. I've read them, but I don't read them anymore. It's just stuff. I don't need it. Why am I curating it in my place?
No one's got a gun to your head. Take it to the recycling.
You're about to say the dump. I'm
all
gonna
the
donate it
books
for
in the
someone
store
else to
boxes.
read, or the library, or something. Like, there's got to be I just don't want it, and I'm very conscious about the things I collect. I don't have very many forks and knives. I don't need a ton of dishes, and I don't like the idea of having a ton of dishes. I don't like things. And product licensing, as Mike referred to it quite a bit on this episode, he called it crap or junk, and I'm like, it's junk. It's garbage. It's literally garbage you buy off the shelves.
Unless you like the thing.
But that's the
what you're
thing.
Still,
saying.
it can
That's
be
the-
both.
That's
you can
the
like the
conflicting
garbage, but still
feeling I
garbage.
have. Is like this thing I got from Blizzard, super cool. Like, it's really neat. It's well, it's
No, it's not. It's junk.
Hang on, let me finish, Mike. Part of what they sent me in the box for audio listeners, it's a little thing I can draw with a dry erase marker. It's in the shape of a banner available in the game. It's product licensing.
It's a piece of garbage.
Did I walk into an
Can I
infomercial?
say my thing without you spoiling it? That I think it's super cool. I'm so happy they sent it to me. And there's another part of my brain that's like, this is straight to the landfill. This is a piece of shit. Like, this is worthless. I feel both ways about it, and that it's hard to reconcile. I can't reconcile that feeling.
And further to that, the more of that stuff that you have, because you're right, like how much of the stuff does like wind up in the landfill. I got a bicycle from a neighbor my dad picked up from my kid. It's got like Hello Kitty stuff all over it,
Yeah.
and this bicycle is ready for the landfill. That's where it's gonna go. But why does it have a Hello Kitty on it? Like, what is it? It's a bicycle because some kid likes Hello Kitty. It's a product license, and you just see this shit. And I actually been going to the dump lately, and you see this product crap all in the dump, hanging out at the dump. It's a good time, I tell you.
I'd like to
You
point
can buy
out.
dump action, Mike Hodgins.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out that's not the first time you said that on the show.
It actually, this is a total aside, but I was at the dump with my dad the other day, we were unloading stuff, and I was like, and then I had this funny realization. I said to him, I was like, man, what's that smell? It really stinks. And then I kind of paused, and I was like, right, we're at the dump. Like, what was I thinking? It was gonna smell like? But I was like, oh man, I really smell bad around
God,
here.
this place smells like a dump. Oh,
really
right.
stinks.
Yeah.
I tell you, it was a bad smell. I wasn't quite sure what it was. We weren't near anything with fish in it, but there was the air of fish, rotten fish. Anyways, but yeah, again, so it's like the more you have of this stuff, you realize that you're like driving the consumption of this garbage, because anyone who's got the product is anxious to get it on whatever because of that little fee. So you consuming it just props the whole thing up. So you're like, yeah, I like Star Wars. I'll buy this little shampoo container with a Star Wars thing on it. It's like,
You know
great.
what my
Someone just got
favorite
a few
product
extra dollars.
license is the Flintstones medicine. Used to be so
yeah, I
excited
love
to take medicine because it was Flintstones. I want the Flintstones. It tastes good. And I'm like, it doesn't do anything. You're taking proper medicine. I want the Flintstones medicine.
Was
The Flintstone vitamins.
I'm ready for my verdict.
Oh,
What
it's
about-
vitamins?
Yeah,
Is that
let's
even
go.
right?
Let's roll the verdict
Okay.
soundies
All right,
and
let's bring in the animals. The
I'll
good,
go
bad, or
first.
bullshit
No, I'll go
licensed animals. I don't know where they are.
Fine,
I'm just
go
looking for.
first.
There we go. Here they come. Here they come. See how energetic I am? It's 11:30 and I'm
Yeah,
dancing
you like-
to the verdict time song.
This
Something I've never done.
verdict animal parade brought to you by Heinz animal byproduct meal.
only 0.2% rat shit in every Heinz bottle.
Up to 80% filler. Okay, I started off when this topic came up. I was like, okay, this is bullshit for me, is what I thought for sure. Don't hit the bullshit button, because I've slid down to bad. You can go ahead and give it a
Oh,
bad.
we're launching
Get right into it. I
Jeez.
was like very clearly being like, okay, this is clearly bullshit. There's I see how some of these things are interrelated, like the toys for kids and stuff like that. But more and more, I'm like, it's just bad. Like when you have content being created and someone's in their head is being like, what's the marketing, what's the product angle of this? You're making that thing worse. I guarantee it. And in the time when people were just like, I want to I want to tell a story, I want to have a movie, and that never entered their mind, it makes the thing, and I don't want to sound like holy here to be like it's more pure, but really it is, if you have in your mind how's this going to play as a merch, that's ruining your art form, and on the other side of it too, where it's like you're so desperate to sell whatever junk you have that just buy a license because like kids are dumb. They'll tell your parents to buy everything, put it on everything. That's bad too. So I really, I can appreciate that someone likes to have the little trinket or I've had little like Star Wars toys and things like that, and I've liked them. But yeah, ultimately, again, Bo's last point, it's just junk. I don't have it anymore. It's in a landfill somewhere. I still like the movies. Whatever, like a thing can have its own value. A toy can be a toy and only a toy, and it can have value there. It doesn't have to be a Harry Potter toy to be better than some other toy or whatever. These things can exist in and of themselves. I don't like it. It's bad.
Okay, well, you're allowed.
Curmudgeon Mike
Hey.
Mike action figure is like rah, rah, rah.
Before I go next, I just have a quick question about your verdict. What about because there's product licensing for stuff that is designed, like you were talking about the design intention, which is obviously a big thing. But then there's licensing that's done after the fact, where like it's a pure product. But like the Princess Bride example I was giving earlier, like there's Princess Bride merch now, but that movie probably wasn't designed for that.
And even that
merch.
again, I would just be like, that merch is just junk. Like, why are you making it? Like, it just, and I could not see the argument to be like, look, I gotta wear a shirt. I have to wear clothes. I'd like clothes with the Princess Bride thing on it. I'm like, fair enough, I guess. But I also am just like, just wear a shirt. Like it's like it's like we become walking advertisements of our personas. That we have to be like, I'm into this thing. Here's my shirt of the content I like. Now you, stranger in the street, know that I like this stuff too. I've just said something to you. Like, who cares? Like, just whatever. Stop being so intent on, I have to project who I am to everyone so that they know. I don't want anyone to think I'm not into this thing. It doesn't matter. Enjoy things for they are. So I stand by my bad. I mean,
Yeah, no, I was just asking that.
There's lots to be said about why this isn't bad, but I'm landing on.
Yeah.
I'm sticking on bad.
Now here's the thing. Before I'll go next, and before I get to my verdict, one thing I wanted to go embellish on Mike's was because I'm of a different point of view with regards to sort of like communicating your interests to the outside world. I think like fashion, be it fashion or whatever. Like if you're putting yourself out there in some way, that's a good thing. And if it's associating yourself to products, movies, books, whatever, and then instantly creating a connection with someone else. I ran across somebody who was walking the dog earlier today, and they were wearing a Doctor Who t-shirt, and I immediately started, like talking to them about Doctor Who, and then that's a basis of connection, conversation. So I see the value in that stuff. And I had the same conflict both these guys had with myself, where I was like, I like the licensed shit that I like, but all the other licensed shit is stupid, and that's essentially how I felt. But I'm also going to say that product licensing is bad.
Oh, yeah. Bad.
What? Bad.
I didn't expect you to just come out with a verdict right now.
I just expected you to be on the edge of your seat listening to my verdict. But anyway, I'm saying the product licensing is bad, and I'm doing it. My tact on it is not necessarily forever, like in the past, in the future, but right now it's bad. And I have to acknowledge that. I have to acknowledge the fact that even though I like a lot of this stuff, even though I have figurines or whatever, or video games or all sorts of products that are licensed, it's reached a point of oversaturation. It's reached a point where it's having a negative impact on the the art forms and interests that I have. It's past when it kicked into the next gear with the release of the original Star Wars trilogy. It is just snowballed from there, and I think it has reached a point of saturation that I can't ignore. And I, despite liking some of the shit that I like, I have to say that where it stands right now, product licensing is bad.
Well, well said, sir. Bo.
Wow, it's bad. All right, listen. Product licensing. I think I kind of said some of my verdict ahead of the actual verdict itself, but I was sort of working it out. It is junk. And we focused heavily, I think, on artistic sources of products for use on more mass consumption-y kind of things like toys and video games, like AAA scale video games that use music and its software. And just generally speaking, if a business has a patent and wants to let another company use a thing, like a license to create from a blueprint, like as a general function, we didn't really cover in the show, so I'm not going to bring it in. But it's hard to just ignore the fact that a company can't have a relationship with another company in a licensing format. Anyways, for like, everyone having their lunch boxes at school with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on it. All right, here's a story. Story time in my verdict. It's very short. I had my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt on in the Glebe, and some younger guys walked up to me and said, "Your shirt, it's so cool. I love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." And we high-fived and had a nice conversation. And that was fun. And they weren't drunk. They were just young and enthusiastic, I think. But
Maybe they were trolling you.
The nice thing about the fashion is, there's the whole side of like, I'm advertising for Firefly because I'm a fan of Firefly and I've got a Firefly t-shirt on. But it's more also finding, people of shared interests, and we don't commonly approach people, but sometimes if you have something of that nature, there's a cultural connection you can make to mass culture. And merchandising does play a role in that. That being said, the product side of things with the junk, I dislike. But I do think we should have cool things. I do think cool things are cool, and it's okay to look at something and say, there's no point in making it. It's ruining the environment, but gosh dang it, this little Chen Stormstout pin that is pretty rad, and I think it's neat. And so, because I'm conflicted on it, I can't come down either way. I'm going to say that product licensing is bullshit. There it is. There it is, louder. Sweet.
I'm surprised. I thought he was gonna bring it around to good at the end because
I thought his head was gonna explode.
Yeah, it's like I like this junk so much.
I love my shit so much, but shit in general is bad. But the guy on the street liked my Ninja Turtles t-shirt, but some t-shirts are lame. Oh God, I don't know.
I see the thing about me not liking junk is I'm also not sure if it's a condition of the way I was raised, because my mom would buy stuff from the dollar store and there'd be cute little knickknacks. And she'd like it, and she'd decorate the house with her, just have it to have it. And my dad come home and be like, "That's junk. You spent money on that fucking whatever." And it makes me feel bad to be that way, but then also I was raised around it, so I'm kind of like that. So I'm just.
I think your dad was right in the sense that it's like it is junk.
The number of times that if I didn't clean my room, he'd threaten to go upstairs with "I'm going up with a garbage bag, throw out all your junk." Because I have a mountain of there was a room in a house filled with junk, and they were my toys, and I valued them, but. Sure shit he didn't, because it's literally junk that I'm burning their money on for my entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, your dad didn't value your toys, but you valued them. You know what else we value here, listeners? We value your feedback.
Oh,
for a segue.
so good.
Tell us what you think, or you can buy little bobbleheads of us as when we get our product license out there. Visit our website, goodbadbull.com. There you can find all the ways to get in touch with us. We would love to hear from you. Send us an email, goodbadbull@gmail.com, or even just a little tweet at goodbadbull on Twitter, or you can like us on Facebook and engage with us there if you so choose. If you haven't subscribed to the show, please do so. Google Play, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. And we also like to give a little shout out to our Patreon supporters. We really do appreciate your support. Keeps the random topic generator oiled and running smoothly. Patreon.com/goodbadbull. Every little bit helps, and we do appreciate it a lot. So, guys, if our listeners want to follow you individually, Crofton, where can people hear what you have to say?
Well, if people want to follow me on Twitter at Crofton Steers, they'll definitely be able to find out why my bobblehead is always out of stock. It's the most popular one.
I was going to say, is it because it doesn't exist? But
because they had to pull it back for manufactured recall.
Bo, where can people find you? Your Twitter feed is basically a product license.
It's true. Sponsored by Heroes of the Storm by Blizzard Entertainment.
It is. He's a mouthpiece for them.
So if you're interested mainly in Heroes of the Storm, follow me at Bo Schwartz. But I do let people know when their shows go live on there as well. And for Good, Bad, or Bull. And I don't know, every now and then I post a funny picture or two. I say a funny thing sometimes. The other thing, too, is that Nerdtacular's coming up. So details for that will be on there as well. And if you're coming to Nerdtacular, I'll see you there.
Good. Bo's going to Nerdtacular.
But did we thank our patrons, by the way?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
A lot. I rained thanks down upon them.
I don't know why. I was listening to you do the outro bit, and then for some reason I blanked out and then came back in, and then I wasn't sure if you'd done it or not. So I had
probably if it was like somehow Star Wars related, you would have remembered it. Be like, this Patreon shout out brought to you by Star Wars. May the Force be with you. Thank you, Patreon supporters.
There you go. That's better.
Now you're talking. Now that's a product I can get behind.
Did you see that bit about and this is true, supposedly?
You muted yourself. Your sponsors pulled you. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I can hear Mike. I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. The whole system's broken down.
All right, well, let's talk. Mike. How are you?
Can hear me?
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah, that's your... Oh, it's his webcam mic is turned on. Crofton, say something. We can hear you now. Crofton, speak. He can't hear us. All right. Anyways, let's wrap up the show without Crofton.
Wow, what a great ending.
I guess his sponsor pulled his funding, and now he can't be a part of the show. I'd like to thank...
I can't wait till there's good, bad, or bullshit. Like, good, bad, or... What would be the worst product to have a good, bad bullshit ketchup? It's just like ketchup with our faces on it.
Wasabi
good,
sauce.
bad bullshit. I'm ketchup.
Back? Oh, there you are. Hello. You're back.
Oh, man.
What would be the worst product to have a good, bad, or bullshit branded on? Like...
I said ketchup. I'd like, because everyone likes ketchup, be our three faces being like, ketchup, good.
The best, you mean the best brand?
No, for us to be branded on. For good, bad, or bullshit product license.
Oh, you could use it for everything. Like, man, like, say you had hemorrhoids medicine, right? Like, hemorrhoids, you'd be like, hemorrhoids are bad, or whatever.
Hemorrhoids medicine, good.
This medicine is good.
And the hemorrhoid pain is bullshit.
Oh, no, I got it. Most hemorrhoid medicines are bullshit. Hemorrhoids are bad, but this hemorrhoid medicine is good. You can listen to Good Bad Bull. Goodbadbull.com sponsored hemorrhoid medicine.
And would the little medicines be good, bad, or bullshit too? Like you could have different flavors.
No, they'd be shaped like us.
Oh, okay.
And they'd be suppositories. You're like, I think I'll put the bow one up my ass today. This is the best product. It's like, oh, I can feel his nose.
Oh god damn!
Super detailed little like suppositories.
I'd be sure to talk to Bo on Twitter. Hey Bo, I'm using your hemorrhoid medicine right now. At Bo Schwartz.
My hemorrhoid suppository would be the worst because I'd have my arms outstretched in anger, so it'd be very difficult to like.
It scratched the insides of your anal cavity. All the way up. All right. Anyways,
Here's a question.
all right.
Would my hemorrhoid thing be wearing a Ghostbusters t-shirt? At which point do we have to pay licensing on that?
Yeah, it might. Yeah.
Jeez.
And Bose would for sure be wearing like a Heroes of the Storm something or other. So yeah, it'd be like, does that work? Cascading product licenses?
Yeah.
It must.
Yeah.
They must. It's a giant legal mess that again gives lawyers another way to make money.
Oh, you love lawyers, Mike. We didn't even talk about how lawyers factor into.
Oh man, licensing must be like their bread and
It's
butter.
literally like lawyer porn.
They're like, tell me more about your licensing agreements.
All right, I guess we've finished it up now.
Yeah,
Getting
probably
pretty-
gonna end it on your hands and someone's anus or something like that.
Well, there was that whole big like Crofton talking to no one.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, I do that.
we were gonna carry on without you and just close the show, but thankfully you came back just in the nick of time to talk about hemorrhoid medicines.
I like how Bo is drinking a coffee, and I'm literally going to go straight into bed after this. He's just like,
To be fair, I've had this coffee since about 6. I drink it really slow.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but you're gonna be up till 6 a.m. Let's face it.
No. A few more hours. I'm pretty tired. A few more hours.
We all know how
It's Friday.
around.
It's
Let's
Friday.
go.
a few more hours is midnight. A few more hours is 3 a.m. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it will be. 3 a.m.
Okay.
That's not
so,
too late for Bo.
So tomorrow, what time are we thinking? Do we know?
Are we off the
Said
live
5.
stream yet?
Oh, yeah, let's say bye to the live
I
stream.
want to hear the minutia of us getting together.
We're gonna
Yeah,
go
yeah,
and
sorry.
share.
Yeah,
we're gonna go
play nerd
share butt
games.
medicine and put it in each other's butt. That's
We
what
should
we're
live stream it on Twitch. If you want to watch 8 hours of bickering and a game that ends in a stalemate.
You know, we probably could. We probably could live stream, but I'm not gonna be there. But that's not a bad idea. It'd be good, bad, or bullshit gaming night.
It would be a good reflection of our show, except it would be like R-rated because of all the.
That's fine.
Negative
You can put explicit content up here as long as you're not
Yeah.
showing your dong and it's
Oh,
not like
come on, Bubba.
hate stuff. Anyways,
Well, we don't have to worry about that because you're not showing up, right?
No, I'm gonna be there later. All right, live stream. Thanks for watching, Wicked Kitten 13. Thank you for watching.
Thanks everybody who's there. We appreciate your support.
Bye, bye, bye,
Yeah.
bye, bye.